Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's gaming news updates. I am Colin, your host. Now, you guys will have definitely noticed that last week I didn't put up a video. And the reason why is because I went on a very small vacation. It was my anniversary. So, me and the wife went up north to a little area that me and her like to go to, and just spent 2 days up there, and that's why no video was no videos were posted, and that's why the gaming news video wasn't posted, because that's why. Just in case anyone wondered, but that was why. So we are back this week, and I just got a little bit of stuff for you. Let's do some catching up because I'm trying to think of. Let's see. Before I left last week, I'm trying to think of what I did. I believe I finished the Technomancer. That game's done now. And then I started The Wolf Among Us. Yeah. It's just been The Wolf Among Us for the past couple days. I did finish The Wolf Among Us yesterday. So that is completely wrapped up, done. No more of that game. I will say they did an awesome job on that game. That game was so much freaking fun, and it was just hilarious. Just oh god, man, I was laughing my ass off so hard on some of the stuff in that game. There were actually two moments where I am putting them into the funniest moments video for at the end of the year, just because I thought they were pretty damn funny. Now, the next thing that you will notice that just like maybe 2 hours ago popped up on my channel is Tomb Raider. I have hopped into Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, the one that came out in 2013. So we're gonna be playing. That. Also tonight, I'm hopping into Telltale series Batman. So that will be up on the channel later tonight too. So we're going to be hopping back and forth between Batman and Tomb Raider. And then next week is the very big release of No Man's Sky. And I'm sure you guys have heard about the person that paid, what was it, like $1,200 or $1,300 to get an early copy of the game. And there's been, lots of stuff that was released that shouldn't have been released, but it got released, and now there's a bunch of info on the game that's out, and I know the creator of No Man's Sky, Sean Murray, he wasn't happy about it, and he posted some things on Twitter basically asking for us, please don't watch spoilers, please don't listen to anything, just wait until you play it yourself and then determine what you think. So that's happened, but I didn't watch any of the videos. I just read some stuff on what had happened, but I didn't read anything about the game or anything. So next week we're going to jump into No Man's Sky as well. We're also going to be playing the DLC for Layers of Fear. It's about his daughter, I guess, taking over his house. We're going to play that. And then at the very end of August is Deus Ex Mankind Divided. We're going to be playing that as well. So, that is to catch you guys up on the month of August, what is going on this month. And then once September hits, I'll let you guys know what the heck's going on in September. As of right now, the only thing that I have going on in September is the BioShock collection. I will be playing that. But yes, as of right now, that is the only thing I got going on in September. I mean, I know I'm sure there'll be more play of No Man's Sky in there somewhere, and I'm sure Mankind Divided will probably sneak its way to September as well, because I'm sure it's going to be a decent lengthy gameplay. I'm not exactly sure how long. I don't know if it's going to be a 10-hour game, 12-hour game, or a 30-hour game. I have no clue. We'll find out. So, now that we got all that out of the way, the first thing that I wanted to hop into with you guys is, okay, I'm sure a lot of you have probably seen this by now, but they're remastering or remaking the game called System Shock. I don't really know too much about it. I never played it when it first came out, but apparently it's a big deal. So, I'm just going to read this off to you guys of what I got here. It's a remastered version of System Shock, a classic sci-fi horror game that was first released back in 1994. Night Dive Studios is rebuilding the game from the ground up using the Unity engine, which is the same engine used to make games such as Deus Ex, The Fall, Temple Run, Monument Valley, and Superhot. As that list suggests, the Unity engine makes the game easy to port, and so it will be available for multiple platforms including Mac, OS X, Windows 10, Xbox, and Linux. And I did just see a little bit ago, it did get confirmed. There's going to be a PS4 release as well. Okay, let's see. The thing it says, why is it interesting? Because it's System Shock. If you never played it, it's hard to overestimate the game's influence. It inspired titles like BioShock, Deus Ex, and Dead Space. Back in 1994, the game's charts were dominated by colorful, cartoonish platforms like Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Earthworm Jim, or ridiculously over-the-top gore fest like Mortal Kombat 2 and Doom 2. Nothing wrong with that, of course, but some gamers hungered for something more grown-up. Enter System Shock, which is with its unique mix of stealth, sci-fi, horror, and action. For many gamers, it was the closest they could get to a playable version of the movie Alien. Night Dive has kept the same storyline as the original. It sees you trapped aboard the Citadel Station, a space station owned by the Optimum Corporation. You'll have to survive against the cyborgs and mutated crew members that populate the ship, which has been corrupted by a mechanical artificial intelligence called Shodan. Let's see, it might sound a bit pat by today's standards, but that's because it set the template for a lot of modern games. In fact, it was one of the first games that told the story through audio logs and messages that you'd come across as you explore. The developer Night Dive previously worked on Thief, The Dark Project, BioShock Infinity, the Fallout series, and Skyrim. If you want a taste of what to expect, you can download the pre-alpha. Okay. Dealing with such a historical title is always tricky. The makers will have to add enough new elements to make it appeal to newcomers without changing so much that they annoy fans of the original. Thankfully, it looks like they're up to the task. All enemies, weapons, and locations have been reimagined and redesigned by Rob Waters, concept artist of the original System Shock. There's also a new musical score composed by Jonathan Piros, composer and sound designer on System Shock 2 and Luna's Marine Stars. The user interface, game mechanics, enemies, and puzzles will be uploaded to reflect modern aesthetics and sensibilities while keeping the feel of the original, plus Terror Brosius will reprise her role as Shodan. Recording an entirely new voice-over, you might recognize her vocal talents from Dishonored, Thief Deadly Shadows, and Thief The Dark Project. Then there's a challenge of making the game stand out, which is a no mean feat given the scores of imitators it inspired in the aspect System Shock is a victim of its own success. And then it says, is there anything similar available? Similar, yes, but not quite the same. Half-Life, BioShock, and Deus Ex wouldn't exist without System Shock, and it's influenced a whole raft of other games, including Metal Gear Solid and Resident Evil. Kickstarter has also become a destination for retro video game revivals. Shadowrun returns, Wasteland 2, and Leisure Suit Larry in the Land of the Lounge Lizards. Reloaded have all been success stories on Kickstarters. Then there's Shenmue 3, which is coming soon. I cannot wait to get my hands on Shenmue 3. That is going to be so awesome. Okay, now, that takes care of that little part that I wanted to read to you guys. And then the next thing we're going to go over is the director of Shenmue, I guess the last one that they did. The director is coming back. And I guess that's a big thing. I don't remember, a ton of stuff about Shenmue because it's been so long since I've played that. But I mean, I do remember like the fight scenes and everything, and I thought they were really cool. They were crafted really well. So, when I heard that it went on Kickstarter and it reached its goal in just like a couple days, I was like, hell yeah. I definitely want to play that again. I've never played System Shock, but hey, there's a good chance that I'll play it just out of curiosity. But, I don't want to definitely tell you guys yes on that because as of right now, I really don't know. It depends when it comes out, and it all depends on what I got going on at the time. So, anyways, let's hop into. I always run into the same problem every time with when I do this. My computer lags when I try to do these videos for you guys because I got the Shenmue thing up and ready to go, but it's not letting me scroll down the page. I hate when this happens, but there's nothing I can do about it right now because I don't have the money to afford a better computer that can handle me doing this while I'm recording with the camera. So, sorry guys, but, it's all I can do for right now. Well, let's see if I can at least read the top of here. Let's see, I got a key figure from the development of the original Shenmue will be contributing to Shenmue 3. Developer Ys not announced today. Net announced today, I mean. In an update posted on Kickstarter, Ys revealed that Keiji Okaasu has joined the development team working on Shenmue 3. Okaasu was involved from the earlier stages of development on the original game, serving as its game and program director. He also worked on Shenmue 3, though he estimates he left after about 70% was complete. The Kickstarter update is accompanied by a short interview video with Okaasu, who is credited as a sub-director on Shenmue 3. That's also how he describes his role on the first two games. He was working as president of a small Japanese development company, Studio Fake, when Shenmue creator Yu Suzuki came to him and requested he work on the new game. I have just recently joined the team. I thought I would be another fan waiting excitedly for the release, but as it is, I get to once again be a part of the team. Of course, I want to help finish the game and do it so the fans will be satisfied. That means making it interesting for everyone who played for everyone who played 1 and 2, and everyone will be experiencing Shenmue for the first time. Okay, what I personally want to stress for my part is what makes Shenmue Shenmue. The game has an utterly unique atmosphere, and I want that all to be breathed in as you play along. You feel the ambience, the milieu from place to place, getting the full sensory experience. It is about the natural atmosphere, as best as I can call it. Because Shenmue is a game where that it is so important with Shenmue 3 that aspect will not be disregarded, and I will keep it alive and will as we continue development. He also spoke about Suzuki and his genius, which he says comes from how he often speaks against convention. Akayosu also said Suzuki frequently questions accepted standards and tries to think from the perspective of someone who doesn't play games. Shenmue 3 was a surprise announcement at E3 2015. A successful Kickstarter... sorry guys, lost my spot. A successful Kickstarter campaign immediately followed the game's reveal, and Ys Net has been providing occasional updates on its development ever since. With our key developers on board, the prototype build started in January, Suzuki said in a recent update. It has been 6 months since the project has really taken off. Battle and facial expressions are coming together, and cheers from the crew are growing. It makes me feel it will turn out to be a good game. Now that is awesome. I definitely cannot wait to get my hands on that game. It's going to be so much fun. But, I don't think that's coming out. I think the release date for that is supposed to be sometime in 2017. If I remember correctly. Pretty sure it's sometime in 2017. So here's the hoping that actually comes out in time, doesn't get delayed. But I'm also not one of those people that gets upset when a game gets delayed. The way I look at it is, if you have to delay it to make it better, I'm all for it. At that point, I'm like, yeah, I don't care. Go ahead, delay it. I mean, does it suck to get it delayed? Of course it does. Of course, I want to play it as soon as possible, but, if it needs to get a little extra work done, to make it better, then I don't know. I don't see the harm in it, and I don't get all bent out of shape over it like some people I have seen get bent out of shape for it, which is just absolutely ridiculous, but whatever. Anyways, the next thing that I want to hop into real quick here, because I just got some info on it as of today, actually. So, let's see here. Okay, the last thing that I actually want to hop into here with you guys is Sniper Ghost Warrior 3. Now, I have not played the Sniper Ghost Warrior games, so, in all reality, I don't have too much experience with this. Okay, let's see. You probably haven't been paying much attention to CI Games, and why would you? The Polish studio has spent much of its existence churning out bargain bin games in an assembly line-like fashion. Its chief executive, Marek Tominski, is surprisingly frank about this, and his candor is rooted in a confidence in his team. He says those years of working on janky shooters and copycat puzzle games were formative times, that they helped the team's growth and provided the experience it needed to break through the factory ceiling. We were a young studio when we started in 2002. 2002. We've been organically growing, making more and more challenging projects. It was a long journey, but we've grown a lot as a studio. Tominski explains, more people joined at the same time. The people who are already here were developing personally a lot. Those people made a major difference on what we're capable of doing today. We're a much more mature studio than we've ever been. In 2014, CI Games released a Dark Souls-alike called Lords of the Fallen. It wasn't perfect, but it exhibited a polish not seen in any of the studio's previous games. More importantly, it had satisfying combat mechanics, an interesting world, and memorable characters. It was received positively, and for Tominski, it was proof that they could make games worth paying attention to. This, he says, is a statement. CI Games hopes to drive home with Sniper Ghost Warrior 3. The franchise is burdened with a sketchy legacy, but Tominski is unprohibited. He believes both long-standing fans and newcomers alike will see the sequel is a different beast from its predecessors. CI Games is pitching Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 as a reinvention of the series, and based on my brief hands-on, it's clearly more thoughtfully designed. While previous games led you by the hand from one checkpoint to another, stopping regularly to take out key targets, Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 adopts an open-world structure. Letting players choose how to approach objects and objectives is key, and 3 complementary gameplay styles support this. While sniping is still very much a focus, missions and designed to enable gameplay variety. The idea is players should be the sniper, the ghost, and the warrior. You can choose to embody just one, but missions usually unfold in a way that requires the versatile to be all of them. Military snipers don't just shoot rifles in a range, says senior design Tomasz Pruski. They're trained in all areas of expertise because they need to know what to do in any combat situation. We wanted to have that because our main character is a skilled sniper, but also a fully competent warrior in other areas. This multidisciplined champion of freedom is John North, who is on a mission in a rundown estate in Georgia, which is controlled by separatist forces Conveniently, my target during hands-on time is in a block of flats seated near an open window. As I start to reposition and line up a shot, I'm alerted to a downed drone on another nearby block of flats. It has important GPS data which could be useful if I choose to recover it. Since the GPS data is on a rooftop in direct line of sight on my target, I decided it's a good way to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I make my way up the decrepit, bombed-out building, but eventually reach a dead end. This is where the scout ability comes into use. At the tap of a button, all the important interaction points around me are highlighted, and I see that I'm able to hang off by a balcony and scale up the side of a building to reach the rooftop. That's pretty cool. Let's see, once up there I grab the data and send out a drone to mark enemies around me, which will make my escape easier. Unfortunately, an enemy spots my drone when I take it a bit too low, and it's at this point Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 reveals how the 3 styles of gameplay are critical for crisis management. In a panic, I rush to snipe the target, not realizing that although the enemies have spotted my drone, they didn't have my specific location. I quickly line up my shot and take it, killing the target. Had I taken the time to grab a suppressor while at my safe house, I could have eluded my pursuers relatively easily, but I didn't, so the gunshot echoed across the estate and gave everyone my exact location. Whoops. Taking stock of the situation, I realize I had a smoke grenade and throw it down to cover me while I make my way to the other side of the rooftop. From there, I climbed down to the side of the building again while I had evaded most of the enemies. A pair of the soldiers appear to block my exit. The only way past them is through them. I pull out my handgun and empty the clip into them, then sprint off into the mission zone. It was clean, but I got the job done. Ultimately, it's mixing and matching Sniper Ghost and Warrior elements to adapt the situation as it unfolds. Even a skilled sniper can miss. The wind may be too strong, and when people converge on your location, you have to swift a warrior to engage or try sneaking away. It's not sitting on a sniper nest and pulling a trigger for 20 minutes. And he also explained that had I used my scout ability on the roof, I'd have noticed the satellite dish nearby, which I could have used to knock out the signal on the TV my target was watching. In response, it would have gone up to his roof to investigate, giving me a different way to take him out. That's pretty clever. Actually, I like that. It's unclear how frequently situations unfold like this, but CI Games says it's kind of an emergent experience it wants to embrace and is building around. Submissions introduced on the fly will be used to push players out of their comfort zones and into situations that may force a shift in strategy. We can't say, hey, we have an open world gameplay here in terms of mission design, then give them only 3 options, says Tominski. We're really giving them plenty to do, and maybe they may discover things we don't think of. It's a very clear decision you have to make when you design a video game. You can either allow for the unexpected choices, which cause some unexpected cool things to happen, or you don't, we decide we are open to it. We want players to experience things we couldn't predict. While the sniper genre might not be as popular as Call of Duty or Battlefield, it provides a unique flavor of first-person shooting. These games are about control and taking a measured approach. By opening up the stealth and guns blazing approach, both of which can be made more effectively using the upgrade trees, the dev risk diluting the series' identity. The game says it has thought about this and made some design decisions that should make players feel like sniping is still valuable. For example, the game does not reward mindless killing. Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 won't give you a bonus for wiping out groups of enemies or taking over encampments. It wants you to do only what you think is necessary. It's not in the essence and spirit of being a sniper. It's not in the spirit of you or the character to kill everyone just to get a bonus of some reward, Tominski says, explaining the decision. Another way the game is maintaining a balance between the 3 styles is by imbibing the up-close engagement with a sense of realism in terms of what a human character should be able to achieve. So if players take on 2 or 3 enemies, they have a good chance of making it out alive. As the numbers go up, however, survivability drops considerably. This means you'll want to pick up your battles carefully. Well, not pick up your battles, but pick your battles carefully. CI Games is confident that Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 will be another pivotal moment for the studio, as Lords of the Fallen was. I appreciate that they're trying to do something different with the series, and it already feels like a step above the previous 2 games. However, it is whether it can deliver a consistently high-quality, cohesive AAA experience that will truly prove the studio has got what it takes to play in the big leagues. Alright, guys. That is a wrap on that. Alright, guys. I hope you definitely enjoyed what I read for you guys there. Hold on one second. I need my coffee. Gotta have my coffee. So I hope you guys liked it. And as I said, tonight I will be diving into Telltale series Batman. I'll be switching back and forth for at least the rest of this week with Tomb Raider and the Batman game. Although, more than likely, I'll probably beat the Batman game tonight because it is Telltale series, and their episodes, when they release them, they're only like 2 hours anyways. So I'll probably beat that tonight. So then the rest of the week will be Tomb Raider, and then... Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. The rest of this week will be Tomb Raider, and then I also have to get the Layers of Fear DLC. I gotta download that. But the DLC, that's only gonna be like 2 hours too. So at least that's what I'm thinking, because when I went on the PlayStation Network, it was only $5. So that's got to be a 2-hour game. So we'll be going back and forth between the Batman game, Tomb Raider, and Layers of Fear for this week. Now, next week, on Tuesday, is the release of No Man's Sky. So we'll be playing the crap out of that, and I already know by that time next week I'll have Batman done until the next episode comes out. and I'll have the Layers of Fear game done. Tomb Raider, I'm not sure yet. I might, but I doubt it. So next week as well will probably be finishing Tomb Raider and then bouncing back and forth between Tomb Raider and No Man's Sky. Alright guys, that is it for this week. Hope you guys liked it. Do me a huge favor and smash that like button. And if you really liked it, do me a favor and please subscribe to the channel. Hitting that like button and being a subscriber for me and watching my content, it helps me out a lot. Just remember, guys, I always got content coming out for you. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is Colin with Cowabunga Gaming. Deuces.